All right, what up, though? Welcome to the show. This is a new addition to what we've been doing on Afro Chic Media, and we got some special guests for you today. I would say all the way from wherever, but I don't know where y'all from. Y'all in LA, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah, they in LA, but I think
I'm in LA.
you're in LA.
I'm in LA.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I live in LA, but right now I'm in Europe just because of the
Oh,
coronavirus.
because
Get
of
stuck out here.
Corona. Okay, so you from
Yeah,
Russia, right? Or
yeah.
something like that. Okay, so let me just introduce you to these young men that's taking on something that's very big, trying to get all the shmoney in these streets. Okay, we got the fellas from More Vision. What up, though,
Yes,
y'all?
sir.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what it is.
Yeah. So, and the reason I say all the shmoney in the streets is really what I'm saying is they're trying to take control. As we filmmakers know, you make a project, you raise funds for the project, then you put the project out and you never see a dime your entire life. They're making millions of dollars off your project, and you still broke. Going on tour, like New Edition, their story. They went on tour. They went on a world tour. They got dropped back off into projects. So they're trying to prevent that from happening to themselves and other filmmakers as well with their platform, morevision.com. So we're going to get into it, and they'll tell us more about how they plan on getting this going. And the reason I put these guys on is because I saw their trailer. They looked amazing, called Bompton Had a Dream. So that's Compton, but I guess that's Bompton if you were blood. So they'll tell us a little bit more about that. Yo, welcome to the show, Ali and Rod. What up, dog? Yeah.
We appreciate the opportunity. Real
Oh,
talk.
no problem, no problem. So, give us a little backstory. Like, tell me, like, how did you guys meet? Is this your first movie? What other projects you work on together? Tell us a little bit about the history of what became More Vision. Because when I think about the word more and vision, I'm just thinking I done went down to Noble Drew Ali and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah,
Right.
tell us a little bit story behind that.
I'll start off with the origin of the name. I was watching Hidden Colors with my little sister, and she's way more Afrocentric than me. I at this point in high school, I didn't know much about my people or myself, to be real with you. So she introduced me to the show. The series, I got to about part 3. After the first part where they introduced the Moors, I was already lost in this world. I just wanted to keep watching and keep doing my due diligence. So after that, I realized there is a people that we come from that is responsible for everything we know as a people today. And it's not represented in no which way, in the media, in culture. So when I thought about that, I felt as though they were visionaries for even taking their, cultural values and expanding it throughout the world, from Europe to Spain, back in those dark ages of 711 AD. So I just thought, how could I kind of just put a nice play on words for us trying to curate a vision that is community driven and has a certain integrity that, companies don't really have when it comes to, being young and creative. Like, they don't want to give us the same opportunity. We're young visionaries in a sense. Yeah, I wanted to see how we can make the word visionary, put a play on it with where we come from, and give ourselves an Afrocentric background in the name, because that's something that's absent in media. People don't really recognize who we are in the first place, but also in the company, So that's
Yeah.
what we want.
And how I came on board with that was when we both came to LA around the same time, and to me, I came out there, and one of my goals was because I had a video game company at the time. I was what, like 19 when we met, bro, like something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had a video game company for a few years at that point, and so I came there with a goal to just grow that and look for investors and just expand on that. And just doing something with film was later down the line for me. I just wanted to find something that a name I could stand behind, and projects I could work on just with somebody back to back. And that was one thing with me personally I always struggled with, like, since because I had ambitions and dreams since I was like 6 years old. You know, I watched Scarface. I remember my first dream was like to be the biggest cocaine kingpin in the world. But obviously I didn't pursue that, thank God. And, you know, I never found nobody in my life that I could just always count on, you know, as far as work ethic goes and as far as, you know, just matching my crazy, you know what I mean? Like I can really go crazy about my work. And I always took pride in, you know, people told me like, you know, you're the hardest working person I know. And until I met this guy.
The day we met, we was in my apartment from 6 p.m. till sunrise every day after that point, like for the next few months, just doing whatever we could as far as just creating, you know.
Yeah, just keeping creating everything. And as far as like the More Vision, the name itself, I always like, since I was really getting into this whole thing, getting familiar with the media and, you know, the way films portray just, you know, other people outside of just, you know, the Captain America you see all the time, the Iron Mans and, you know, people like that. There's not enough. That's the one thing that always angered me, just the lack of diversity and lack of proper representation. We all know the thing where the black guy dies first in the movies and stuff like that. I never understood, you know, and where I come from, like, I never met a black person until I was like 16, I think, 15.
Wow.
So to me, to me, because I
interesting to hear. Hey, that's crazy.
Yeah, in Russia we don't have black people. So, you know, I never liked the ignorance and, you know, stuff that I just mentioned. So, you know, when me and him met and we just connected mentally with what we wanted, the stories we wanted to tell and the change we wanted to bring to media and, you know, just the stories that are being told out there. It was easy.
Bompton had a dream. Let's talk about that first.
What's up with you, nigga? You out here on your big celebrity shit, about to make cars and shit, finna be big college man. What's up, nigga? Just big time, huh? Now, I can't fuck with you, huh?
Man, I hope he goes to UCLA. Either way, he's one and done for sure.
Man, you on your way to the show. You got a big job on your hands. I know you gonna represent though, right?
Run my shit, nigga.
Damn right.
Run my shit.
Your shit, nigga.
Seen all that stuff on Instagram. You need to get your shit together.
Nigga, you got fucked up yesterday.
So you ain't gonna do nothing about it?
Fuck you mean I ain't gonna do shit about it?
Nigga, you need to do something about it. Niggas gonna start thinking you pussy.
The only time that she should see you out here fighting is if you fighting for her.
So you a blood now?
A bandana and a goddamn pistol. Boy, y'all mamas ought to smack the nigga out y'all.
I'm just feeding myself mentally, bro. Gentrification is real, brother. That little shoes you got right there in that basketball,
Oh, God.
it's gonna be in the museum someday. But all the little white folks telling their kids, look, Becky, he used to live here. Yeah, that'll be you.
Sad. You need to get out your own head.
Where your brother at, nigga?
I'm just headed to the park right now. I gotta get these jumpers out.
Well, if y'all niggas ain't doing shit, I'm coming. I gotta hit the liquor store. I got a little bitch that's over there, and I got a couple niggas I gotta shoot too, so.
Shoot.
We got some shooting to do, yeah.
Why you tripping, bro? You know these niggas, fool.
Nigga, these the homies, nigga, these the same niggas you niggas grew up with.
I love you, Mel.
Kinda seems like he played for you on your own now.
You put it into their hand and just gave it back. And looked out.
I'm in shoes on it. So many in the world can feel. For all of Compton, tune in. 6 o'clock.
Bompton. I'm from West Side Piru, nigga, and I don't think you understand that, bro.
Remember our conversation, right? Man, handle your business, man. P-Funk.
Mel, don't tell nobody what I'm committing to.
Man, fuck you too, nigga. Acting all weird and shit, blood, cause you got these little scholarships, nigga. You still a bitch. Save yourself, nigga.
So tell us about how you came about like working on that film. Like what inspired the story and things like that?
After that point, we was just, yeah, that's a long story. We was just, at the time, it was like 2018, right? Summer 2018. We was just looking for something. We just had a couple flops with the partnerships and stuff like that, that we was working with people, you know, like I said, people that we tried to work with, couldn't count on them. So long story short, me and him was sitting there just thinking like, what do we do? Like, what is going to be the first thing that we do that's More Vision that we could just put our brand to and really give 100% to, because we did a couple short projects, a couple web series. We worked with Bone Collector, did some videos for him, but we didn't do anything that was truly more vision just yet, and that's when he was telling me that he has this play that he wrote in high school that he's been telling me about for years now. You want to go into that, Ra?
Yeah, so my mother, she's heavily affiliated in the NAACP. So as a kid growing up, I was always in that space. I was one of the younger chairpersons in the Long Island branch in New York. And I noticed there was a high school competition called AXO for African Americans to participate in categories ranging from music to arts, mathematics, and science for people to showcase their ability. So at this point, I'm a sophomore in high school. I'm dropped out of school doing certain things I shouldn't be doing at that time. And she forced me to write a play for the playwriting category. And I gave it to her, didn't think nothing about it. Months later, she had me go to this award ceremony. I ended up winning the gold medal on a local level. Then it took me to the nationals, which was like a whole week trip in Philly with hotels full of just young people that made me feel like my mind was minuscule. And, it was insane. And I ended up walking across that stage that weekend, winning a gold medal on the national level. So it was something I knew that I could resonate with. It was a story about just three different aspects of me and what I was facing at that time, being young and Black and struggling. Like I truly didn't, know if I wanted to take basketball to the next level for myself. I could play ball on my own, I could do my thing. I didn't know if I should, at this point, take it and really try to push it for the rest of my life, or should I try and see what else is good for me? And I know there's not just a ball to dribble or a mic to rap on or, a drug to sell. So I wanted to see what I could do differently and find a different avenue for myself. I wrote about that. And I also wrote about being a product of my environment and really being outside and being with my friends and being with people that I ran with and just doing whatever came to the plate that day. A lot of the times it could have left my life at a standstill in a cell, or potentially could have lost my life a couple of times doing certain things. So I wrote about that. That's all I wrote about. Now I put it into this script. I feel like if I was to go into my career as a writer, director, it'd be the perfect piece to kind of just start off with and let people know that this is me. And not only this is me, but this is all of us. Like I'm pretty sure there's billions of stories just like mine. And I wanted to tell that.
When we started actually getting into the filmmaking process of it, we originally wanted to do a short. And obviously a short is like under 15 minutes or something like that. So when me and him was talking about, doing this story, Ra writes really fast. Ra can write a whole script in like a day or two. So in 2 days, he's like, yo, bro, I got this script ready, but it's 150 pages. I'm like, damn, this is not a short. So he's like, I got to rewrite that. And he rewrites that. And he rewrote it like probably 7 or 8 times. And now he got it down to like, 90 pages, 95 pages. And we're just sitting there like in the apartment just thinking about like, yo, why are we even thinking of doing the short? Like the budget we got, we could probably, if we make some sacrifices, we plan a little different, we can make it into a feature. And at the time, it was a $25,000 budget, which is extremely ambitious for a feature film, right?
Yeah.
But, we figured out how we can make certain, like I said, sacrifices and, what things we could really go cheaper on and, spend most of our budget went to the equipment. So that's why our film has that really cinematic look. And LA played a huge part in who we were today, at that point especially. And we were just thinking of how we can pay homage to something that influences us that much. And obviously we was thinking of different places. Yeah, we was thinking of different places. We was thinking of making it Watts, maybe Crenshaw. We was thinking of getting Nipsey involved. Thank God we didn't. I know if we did and we worked with him, I'd be heartbroken as hell. Yeah, like I'd lose my mind if all that happened and we worked with him. But we just stopped on Bompton. Kendrick Lamar is one of my favorite rappers, one of Ra's favorite rappers, and we've been following him for some time. Dr. Dre is one of the biggest influences on me. He's from Compton too.
We also don't appreciate Hollywood's portrayal of LA culture as far as South Central goes. I watch shows like All American, On My Block, And to know what really goes on out here, like I truly feel like it's disrespectful to them to a certain extent, trying to, you know, like wiggle themselves around the authenticity it needs. Like on my block has a shot where they're tracking out from the house on the drone, and like I could easily see a hotel that's down the street from me in North Hollywood. Like they're not actually shooting there. That was the point. That was a tipping point for me to say, okay, this movie is going to be completely shot in this community with everyone from the community in it, and we just gonna keep it real to them. Like not what I want to do. We want to keep it real to them.
That was a question I had was, did you get like a backing behind you, say with the big homies, you know what I'm saying? Were they like, oh, this a whack, or were they like supporting you? Did you have any trouble? Like, especially now since you talk about shooting in the community, like even though the narrative that's painted is, oh, they tough guys, like get out of here, but there is some type of territorial thing when you come in people's neighborhood doing different things. They really try to scope you out. So so what was that like? I guess since you said you were working with the actual people in the neighborhood, like how did they receive you, and like how did you get in?
Yeah, I mean, it was honestly because I know like what gang culture is, and my background and my family is I have certain ties with my family as well that is involved with that. So I know what it is, and it's I didn't necessarily just want to go jump into Compton and just say, hey, I want to shoot a movie here. But because my partner is like kind of, you know, not in that world as much, he was willing to just say, okay, let's go to high school, Centennial, and just try to meet with the principals and talk to them and see if we can get in that way. He was a little bit easier his logic worked better for that. So
yeah.
so he did exactly that. And we went to talk to the principal at Centennial High School. She was in love with the project. She was behind us 100%. And then a security guard had walked up to us after the meeting. Shout out to Twin. He came up to us like, yeah, I know the concept, love what y'all doing. Y'all need anything in the community, just holler at us. Like, let us know. I said, well, we want to, you know, shoot on Paru Street. We just naming stuff because, like, obviously, we want to just have everything that's tied to the community involved with the project. And he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna call Wacko. I'm gonna holler at you in a couple days. I'm gonna get Wacko on the phone. We just like, all right, cool, yeah, holler at him, like, you know.
We told him the same thing. We told you like about, you know, how much we just want to embrace this world, like be authentic to it. And you know, those couple of days we haven't heard from him, and eventually we started shooting. And I remember we was outside the gym, and Rob was shooting inside, and I just stepped outside, like, and Twin was right there, right next to me, and I was like, yo, you know, have you heard from Wacko yet? He's like, oh shit, let me call him right now. He calls him, he's like, yo, these guys are here, and he puts me on the phone with him right there and then. I didn't expect that, right? So he was like, so you guys want to shoot on Paru Street? You guys, what's the movie called? Oh, Bompton Had a Dream. Why Bompton? And that's a serious man right there. You know, that's some serious questions to answer for me, especially like I'm so far from there. I'm so foreign to this whole culture, right? But from the things I know, like the stuff that we was going for, I explained to him, and then he pulled up on us. We had a whole conversation with him about what we was doing. He just, he respected it. He loved it, and you know, he helped us a lot. His name is Wacko OG. You know, he just literally said, next day, I'll pull up on wherever you guys are shooting. I'll give you guys a tour around what you were looking for. Because the day before, we were supposed to shoot in a different part on the Crip side of Compton. And thank God we didn't shoot there. It was just a rehearsal. And the guys, actual Crips from there, saw us shooting, and it was like, yo, what y'all doing here?
Man, I'm rehearsing on a scene on the street behind the park. And like four guys hop out of the car. They're like, says, oh, what y'all doing, bro? I'm like, yeah, you know, we just rehearsing for a movie. It's like, yeah, what movie y'all rehearsing for? He's like, I'm like, yeah, Bompton Had a Dream. He's like, Bompton? Like, Bompton? Like, bro, this Compton Crip, bro, Bompton. Like, I'm like, damn. Like, four more, like, I don't know where they came from, but like 4 or 5 more people hopped out the car. You know, tried to press heavy, you know. I'm just standing, I'm like, yo, I'm telling all my actors, I'm like, yo, go to the park, get out of here. I'm gonna talk to them, go back. But everybody started moving up with me and trying to figure the situation out. And I'm just telling them, like, yeah, you know, we young filmmakers, we just doing our thing on this side. No disrespect, nothing like that. Mm-hmm. But that's also a part of it. You know, a lesson we learn, we have to understand the complete politics of this area before we go in there and just try to get our creative vision off. So that was one of the things we had to deal with early on. So when Wacko came on board, and he took us all the way through. Like if you watch the documentary on YouTube, Noisy Bumping, with Kendrick Lamar, a lot of those same locations is the exact locations he pulled us up to and said, look, I can shoot here, I can shoot here. If I need to park here, I can do that here.
Yeah, there's the liquor store, there's the park, there's the alley. Everything we needed, he just showed us there where, where that community is. So,
and that, I don't know, that really says a lot to get the respect of Wacko, because I'm sure everybody, I don't know, people like that, to me, like they smell fakeness a mile away. You know what I'm saying? I guess just to know when the cops coming or whatever, I don't know what he do, but it just seemed like they know when people trying to play them. And even you getting out of that situation with the Crips, after you done told them what the movie name was, I would have called it something else. But I don't know. It's just like something y'all got about y'all. Like, you young, but you got like a older soul or something, like just a little wisdom or something.
We do get that a lot, but it's just we want to pay respect anywhere we go. I think people forget that you got to reach your hand out and give it first. Like, that's what we about.
And so y'all said you had a budget of $25,000. Now, if you ever go somewhere else, you're gonna tell them $1 million at least, because at least. But even for me, like $25,000 is like, I've been on sets where the budget was $10,000. Nobody really got paid or whatever, hardly. But how did you raise that capital? Like, did you take your own money? Like, how did y'all get $25,000?
Yeah, original budget was 25, but we locked in an investment of 35. So that was the budget we was working with at the time. And the final budget with the reshoots and everything else was 45. But we got it done anyway. But just to answer your question, a partner of mine, before I came to LA, I started a record label, and one of the dudes I went to school with, his name is Petro. He was one of my partners in it, and things with the label weren't going so well for different reasons. So me and him parted ways. Me and him were really close. Me and him are really good friends, and he was always supportive of what I did. Like when I played basketball, he was the one dude that was always at every game, recording every game. Every time I did something, he always made sure he's there to support. So he was peeping what I was doing with Ra in LA, even though me and him weren't working at the time together. And like I said, when those times happened, when a couple people we was trying to work with in F-Flop, and certain things weren't going well on this end, he just called us. I don't know why. That's God, I guess, right? He just called us, like, yo, what you guys are doing? And, I'm trying to make a film. I'm trying to invest in a film. You guys have something? We just told him about this film, Bombed and Had a Dream, that Ra was writing, and that it was based on display that he was.
I got my iPad on the charge. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it's based on this play that Ra wrote in high school and everything. So next day we was on the phone already pitching him the project. Told him everything about it. He loved it, and more than anything, he was just saying, like, after a couple conversations, he just wanted to hear how are we gonna make it happen rather than what the project is about. It wasn't really the film as much that interested him, but what we were doing, he wanted to really invest in us more than anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, to him, it was an investment in Ali and Ryan, in our future. He really, really believed in what we were doing. And, here we are.
Wow. Okay, that's what's up. Let me ask you this. With the movie is the launch for More Vision, their first launch is the movie for you starting your own streaming service, basically, right? So kind of tell me about why you decided to do a streaming service, and how's it going so far?
It's going beautiful, and we couldn't be more thankful for the way things are working out. But the way we came up with it, we had just secured a cameo from an NBA player in our movie, and we were supposed to have an investment for that. But some crazy things happened, and again, God just prevented that from happening for us. And we was just really like, we was really low, like sitting by the pool, like, man, we was just so happy that we just got this cameo. Like, we was working on that probably for over like 2 months, just locking in that cameo. And the movie was already shot at that point. We was just doing reshoots and everything. And we just said, man, like money was in the way. How do we fight this? Like, our whole creative careers money was in the way. So we just said, like, why don't we just come up with a streaming service where the profits will fund the projects, and not just our own, but everybody else's, because we're not the only people who have to struggle through our creative careers with finances. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't want that to be something that other people have to worry about, because that stunts growth, that stunts so many things. And from just this, it grew into something completely different. If you go on our site, you'll see other features like, fair opportunities and, film stock and funding projects, or creating creative control and ownership, and so on and so on, Yeah.
It's basically our version of everything we wish we had when we came out here, and giving people the opportunity to finally be able to live a full career. Potentially, this is just potentially, like, live a full career without having to work with a studio. Like, that's not a thing. With commercial value projects, they don't, like, it's non-existent. So we want to build that for people who are similar to us, that want to be able to completely curate how they want to curate, and don't mind the extra hassle of understanding a business element, a creative element, and doing everything that's tied in with that to make your project come to life on a pre-production to production to post and marketing and distribution level.
All right, yeah, that's excellent. I bought a domain name years ago, like kind of with the same thing in mind, but not as extensively as you guys got. But I bought a domain name in order to give a platform for Black filmmakers in particular. But I don't think I got the work ethic to get it done, but we'll see.
We all do.
No, but it was always my dream. I wanted, back in the day, the only station we had was BET.com, BET, Black Entertainment Channel. And when I was a little girl, I was like, I want to make a Black TV station. That was my thing. And then somehow my dream went away because other Black TV stations started coming out. And now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, it's room for everybody, And speaking of that, you got the big boys that you're going against. You got the Netflix. Just every station got an app now. So
how? It's not competition, though.
Exactly. So how do you see it? Go ahead.
We're in competition with ourselves. Like, it's really us making our own lane and seeing where we can take it. And honestly, I'm glad you mentioned that, because, from the beginning of time, since we've been in LA, it's been those same conversations. People that are used to going to Netflix, people that are in those offices, from Paramount to Lionsgate, all these companies, these people we talk to, every time we sit down, it's just the same thing. Like, how do you think you're going to be able to build around these other companies?
How are you going to sell your project to this company or that company? How are you going to go work for this company or that company? How are you going to get an internship with this company or that company? The conversation was never how can you own your work? How can you do your own thing completely independently, your own way, right? Because if you know anything about the entertainment industry, you know that.
Yeah, Master P is an example of it. Like, there's been so many examples of in the music industry, like even Chance the Rapper. Like, there's just so many examples of independently blowing up and just kind of seeing, the fruits of their labor. And just, I watched the Versus battle with Erykah Badu. This is totally separate, but Erykah Badu and Jill Scott.
That was an amazing battle.
Yeah,
that was beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah, and one of the things Erykah said was, I'm having an after party after this. Come to my after party, because these streaming service, they pay us pennies, So she said it's okay to support the artist directly. And, with them not being able to tour and things like that, like, it was important. And I was just proud of her for having the idea and just going about setting up a streaming service, getting the merch, selling her incense or whatever she was doing. So I was like, yeah, it's powerful. And I feel like artists are going to start, taking more control. And even when that comes into play, like, let's say Moore's Vision is competing against Netflix, right? Let's say that happens. Where y'all look at it like that, that's going to be a benefit for the artists. They can tell Netflix, no, I'm not going with y'all. Y'all not paying enough. I'm going to go over to More Vision. Competition in the market, always breeds. It's kind of like a seller's market and when you buying houses and a buyer's market. It's just like, no, we got other options. We don't have to go to Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
We can go. There's other places, other streaming companies we can go to. So I think that's great. I just know it's
Thank
probably going to be challenging. So I don't know, you probably face some challenges already, but tell us some good news so far, something that my audience might not know about. What can you say is a win? You know, that type of thing. And I know just completing that project was a win to me. Yeah. So tell us something more.
So to me, you know, to have launched at 21 when we were both 21, like the first filmmakers, streamers, like this is a streaming service for filmmakers. And for us to be the first people to, you know, establish that and make that happen for our people in this next generation, and to be able to be of this age and know what it's like, because we're eye level with everybody.
Yep.
That's the biggest win to me, you know. But I'm pretty sure Ali could add something to that.
Yeah, outside of just that, like with this film in particular, just getting the feedback of people who were from those communities and similar places, you know, who we made it for, and just knowing that they liked it and appreciated the work we did, that's victory right there.
I can't wait to see like 5 years from now. And I think just because you guys are young and you're doing it, that speaks a lot. Because a lot of times, you know, now that I'm this age, I realize how much of my youth I wasted. You know, they say youth is wasted on the young. And I'm just so proud of you guys for not wasting your youth. Like, I don't know if you listen to Gary Vee, people like that, but you're putting in the grind right now and you're reaching out to other people, building a community. It's just not all about you guys and your projects, but it seems like I might be able to get out, you know what I mean? So I'm excited. And I know that 5-10 years, as long as y'all stick with it, you'll be a force to be reckoned with. I believe in you, and I'm excited about what you're doing. Y'all got any last words or things y'all want to say? Anything you want to plug? Go ahead and do it now.
Trust your vision.
Trust your vision.
Trust your vision. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. These are our brothers.
Thank you as well.
From morevision.com, morevision.com, morevision.com. Check them out and check out their movie. And we'll see you next time on the show. All right. Peace.
Love.